Okay. Commissioner Collins, would you pray for us, please?
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you so much for this day, all your many blessings that you bestow upon each and every one of us and us as a county as well. Lord, we just ask that you be with all of our employees and first responders and just take care of them, Lord, and watch over each and every one of them. Lord, we just ask for your help and your insight and just anything that you can give us to help us conduct your business here within the county. And we just pray all these things in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 Stand with me for the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll call this July 1st, 2025, Marshall County Fiscal Court meeting to order. First of all, before we get started, we have a very special birthday in the county. Want to wish our friend Thomas Sprout Davis a happy 101st birthday tomorrow. So, early birthday.
Happy
wish
birthday.
goes out to him. That's awesome. He's an awesome man. Okay, old business.
He's probably at Snap Fitness right now, or on his way.
Maybe that's a secret.
Huh?
Maybe that's a secret.
Yeah.
Taking a smoke break every once in a while, outside of Snap Fitness is the secret.
Lord.
That's awesome. Okay, under old business, let's see, need a motion to approve the minutes from the June 17th meeting, June 17th public hearing, and the June 30th special call.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, rebid the New Hope Road Bridge project. Roy had been in communication with KYTC on that, and that was a decision that they came to on that, so need a motion to rebid.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Erica's not with us today. She's out sick, so hopefully her and her daughter both have a speedy recovery. We've got a budget amendment and want to talk about that a minute before we do something on that, and Roger's here as well. We had budgeted $200,000 on our receipt side of the jail budget to that would be coming in from housing other county inmates, which consisted basically of Graves County. Graves County put that out for bid, and another county was awarded the bid on that. So we are going to have to address that and
Just so that we can kind of have that discussion and it's out in the public setting, because I know WPSD or Graves County put a press release out on it, and so it made the news, of course. I think what was not in there, so that our people understand, is that we all bid on that. All those jails that received inmates, so that I'm aware of anyway, Callaway, us, and Fulton all put bids together. I don't know about McCracken. I'm not sure they did. But I thought we were fairly aggressive in it anyway, putting a scale in there where it was less than what the state pays us, and quite honestly, significantly less than what we actually pay each day to house an inmate. But I think the thing that we couldn't do, and none of us, I don't think, other than Christian, could make that transport make sense. Quite honestly, they didn't make it make sense either.
yeah.
There's no way you can
No.
convince me that they did. I think it's probably a situation where they have the staff to be able to do it already. They wouldn't have to hire anybody else. So my assumption is they were looking for a way to be able to utilize those employees that are already there. And we don't have that ability, nor do I assume any of our other counterparts in the other counties. And so, I mean, it was a great deal for Graves County.
I don't
but-
blame them for bidding it
Yeah,
out.
I don't
but
either.
We did all we could do to try to continue housing those inmates. But the transportation cost, it was not feasible. I mean, when you have to hire 5 or 6 people just to do transport, I mean, they could have an inmate come in at 2 a.m., 8 p.m. I mean, that's a issue for us. So I think you hit the nail on the head. They had the staffing already to do that. I think they'll be revisiting that in a year when they see what their numbers are. But not anything we could do about that. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, we've got to address that in the budget.
Well, and I think the other thing, what we did with this budget is, even though we knew we might not get this based on just originally it sounded like Christian County was going to be aggressive just from all that we heard when we were making our proposal. But we at least thought, okay, well, they're going to need some of us at some point. And no, it is every single one of their inmates. They have an agreement with McCracken as they stated. And so we're not just going from almost 400, anywhere from 350 to 400 a year down to 200. We are going from that to 0. And I think looking at all the other, I mean, if you go back and look historically over the last 12 months or whatever, I mean, they are all but maybe 2 or 3 inmates come from other counties other than Graves. So that other counties is I mean, a few from Livingston, basically, here and there. So it hurts, that budget, for sure. But anyway.
It does.
I just thought that needed to be said because I think there might have been something out there like we didn't even try to do that, and that's absolutely not the case. We certainly put together as much
We
as
had,
we could.
had a meeting with the judge over there also. We were very aggressive with trying to do this, and it just didn't happen. So that may change next year. Who knows? A lot of things may change. Anyway, we need to do a budget amendment there, and Desiree is going to read that. That will decrease that receipt line from Graves County other county inmates, and replace it with excess carryover in the jail fund.
Ordinance 2025-05, an ordinance relating to the annual budget and amendment thereof. Whereas the County of Marshall has received additional funds, now be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Marshall County that Section 1, the annual budget for fiscal year 2025-2026 is amended to A, increase/decrease revenue accounts. Cash balance July 1, general fund, $195,769. Contract with other counties, decrease $188,000, total $7,769. B, increase expenditure accounts, cooks, $4,326.40. MRT program, $1,081.60. Jail social security, $414. Jail retirement, $1,947. Total $7,769. Section 2, the amounts added to the revenue and expenditure accounts in Section 1 are for governmental purposes, approved by the Marshall County Fiscal Court the first day of July 2025.
That's just a first reading on that, requires no action. Transfers, we don't have any transfers, okay. While we're on the subject, need motion to pay the bills.
Pay the bills.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Next item, our jailer, Roger Ford. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I was here, let me say this to start with. I appreciate the salary raises on our lower paid people and our new hires. They are getting $1.50 an hour raise, so that's getting them to $17.50, which looks a whole lot better. Hopefully that will help retain some employees. Now, on the other hand, all my other employees, my older people that have been there, they've received, I believe it's 2.99, I believe, is that correct? So we're looking at 50 some odd cents raise for them. I have got 3 openings right now for deputy jailers. And what I want to do, like to do, is to take one of those openings and give some more raises. And what I would like to do is get everybody a $2 hour raise this time. And if that third person finally comes around that I could hire, I could, because we go above and beyond on our medical, I could transfer some of that money and reimburse it out of our commissary. So I think with that, I believe that taking one of those employees and spreading the money out, we would actually have a little bit money left in that employee. So I guess what I'm saying, one of those employees would take care of all the raises.
So are we going to take that one out in the next budget?
Well, no, we would leave him in because, I mean, if I'm ever able to hire him, then I could take my commissary money and I could transfer some money out of medical because we go above and beyond what we have to on our medical. And
What do you mean above and
Move some
beyond
comments.
on medical?
by law, I have to do 24 hours a week, and we do 40 hours. And how for years.
So you're saying anything over 24 hours, whatever that amount is that we pay the nurse could come out of,
And the medical also, the nurse and medical.
so the contract with 3C, C3, whatever, you're talking about that?
Yes.
That line?
Yes, sir.
Or like another
Yes,
line?
yeah. So I guess the bottom line, it's not affecting the budget at all. The budget is the budget, and
Okay.
I mean, it's budgeted in the salaries already. You know,
I'm trying to,
Has everybody got this sheet in front of you?
so I think the one the one that we don't, this is, I mean, this is something, I don't even know where this is old, right? This is FY19. Or is that just? I guess what I think would be helpful to have, and you may not be able to pull it right up for us all, but would be the the schedule that is in the budget, that is attached to the budget, that has each. Yes. That's not what this is, right? This is something old.
That's from 2019, showing the pay scale when we took office.
Sorry. Okay.
The total to
sorry.
do this would be 60, with benefits and all would be 62,000 and some change. 62.4 maybe something.
That pay scale, that sheet there has the pay scale, Monty, when we took office as commissioners.
Okay.
And that was setting at $12.50 an hour.
Okay.
It's now with the increase we just did, $17.50. So it's about a 40-something% increase.
Looks like this one's got the current, right, this line right here looks like what we just start today. It's got most of them at 1750, and I may be wrong though.
Well,
Looks like last year and this year's, as in yesterday and today, I guess.
yeah, but the problem on this specific one, I think anyway, it doesn't have the open that we would have left in there.
Right, yeah, this is probably
That's
just,
what I'm trying to see
Okay.
is, okay, where are we, is that money in the open? Because I can't remember what we did on the budget, what we left in there as open. Does that make sense over there?
how many
Sorry.
slots?
Huh?
Open positions.
Yes.
I want to say,
Are you looking this up? I can't tell. Okay, all right. Just nod at me. Nod that
on.
you are listening.
Very slow on the Wi-Fi.
Okay. I just. Oh, she's
About to win.
doing a really good job of pretending like I'm not here, which is difficult to do, I realize.
We try though.
You've done a great job of trying. Did you, Deputy Judge, did you send out the budget? I don't remember after I asked. I don't remember if we got one.
The current salary's
Is on the drive?
is it showing an open position? How many we budgeted?
All right, refresh. Okay. Yeah, this is not the document that I'm thinking about, though. The document I'm thinking about, and maybe it is not attached to the budget once the budget is done. I think it is, but is each individual, I mean, it's not something that small. each individual's departments. You know what I'm talking about?
I know we got it when you start preparing for the
Yes.
budgets, but I don't know that it's
Yeah,
attached.
because it goes through, like specifically for the jail, it would be the cooks on one page.
Yeah.
The deputy jailers on one page. It's that
I think I know what
document.
you're talking about, Mike. I think that it shows the openings.
Well, if we budgeted for that.
Des is gonna go put that on the drive. I'm not a fan of taking money from an unfilled position as a long-term solution if the positions plan on being filled at some point. If it's not, then we need to remove it. But if it's an open position, I'm not for taking money out of an open position. If we don't need it, let's eliminate it.
As far as,
She's gonna go get that and put that on the drive, so.
as far as the budget amendment, do we know what line items we're gonna have to move around to make up for the 188,000?
I thought they was talking about carryover
They have
money.
excess carryover.
Are we gonna do excess carryover with it? Okay.
The danger with doing that, and that's about our only option at this point, unless you had a revenue source that we have now that we don't have on here, which I don't think that's possible.
No, I don't think we have anything right now.
It's like our only option. The bad thing is, that's the jail savings account, basically, right? To a certain extent.
What's
That's
that?
kind of like, say, your savings that will now be, potentially be gone if we use all of that during this budget year.
Talking about the unfilled salaries.
No, I'm just saying, all that excess carryover.
Oh, excess
covers
carryover, yes.
Is the loss of revenue. Like, it doesn't have anything to do.
Yeah, what's the rate? He's talking
With
about
the
the raises.
raises,
Yeah, I got you.
It just negates out.
Yeah.
The loss that we're gonna have.
It just keeps that budget balanced.
Balanced.
Which
For
we
this
had to put
year-
it in
for
there
this
from
year,
somewhere.
yeah.
Yes,
And then,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
but I'm like you on the, if he wants to eliminate a position and use that money for the raises, but I don't think you need to leave that third position there if you're gonna,
Well, our problem is hiring people and retaining people.
oh, I agree. I
And the
understand.
only thing that we can retain people with is
It's
money.
money. I understand.
Because this job is not something that anybody and everybody can do or wants to do.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I wouldn't want to do it.
No, and especially for the money.
Yeah.
But I think what.
But what I'm saying though is if this third person comes around, I can reimburse this out of our commissary. But I think the best way to do right now, because it is already budgeted, it's already there. So actually, I can spend that money the way it needs to be spent
So-
on the salaries.
So why not eliminate that position right now, and then if that third person was to come along, then
And we're not
revisit?
going to give any raises?
No, so you was talking about you could give the raises out of that one. I understand you're right that you got
But-
three
but-
unfilled positions.
Here's the problem, fellas. You don't understand how short I am. I am short-staffed. I am short-staffed to the point that if something major happens in that jail at 2 o'clock in the morning, we got trouble. We have trouble. If something happens at 9 o'clock at that jail, we have trouble. I don't know if you guys have been around and checked other county jails of how many employees they have and what their budgets are. But maybe you should. I'm not asking for 7 or 8 people on the floor at all times. I'm not asking for that. Do we need more people on the floor? We certainly do. And I need these other positions filled. And I need them filled, and I need them where I can keep them. I need to be able to keep the people that I have there. I lost one the other day went to another jail, making $16 an hour at my jail. He's making 24 hours an hour right now.
At what? Where?
At McCracken County, because he had experience. That's what they're paying for people that have experience. But I'm telling you, I'm working my guys overtime. Even with the 3 positions filled, if I have somebody sick or on vacation, we're still going to have to work some overtime. But it will make my jail a little bit safer. But how would you guys like to be down there? Population is down right now. It is down. But by law, I've got to have 3 people on the floor at all times. That's minimum. How would you like to have 3 guys down there with right now 120 inmates? But at one time it's 200 inmates, and population will be back. I've been around too long. I've seen this 2 or 3 times. Population drops, the state has these great ideas and everything, but these inmates are coming back. It may be a year or 2, but they're coming back. We're probating them, or we're paroling them. That's what the state does, and when they come back, they're on the county dime for 6 or 8 months until they get sentenced again. And when I say that, I hope not. We got a lot of treatment centers and stuff out there, and I hope every single one of them get better. As long as we have inmates, we got to have staff. We got to operate safely.
I looked at, excuse me, all your staff when we were doing the budget, and, excuse me, with the exception of the deputies, pretty much the rest of the staff had, with their pay scales, had been there 5 years or longer. So I didn't see anyone leaving on those other pay scales that are included in this, which means they're comfortable where they're at, or they would be. Some of it may be because of length of time to retirement or various issues, but I don't see how these others will increase the ability to hire entry level. These pay increases for these other employees. Because that's where we're short.
So we have dedicated workers. We have dedicated workers. And, we're sitting here saying that they're not going to leave, so we don't have to give them any money. What is it? Really?
Well, this whole money thing,
we're the lowest paid people in this county.
We've increased that over 40% since the 2 of us has been in office.
The starting pay.
We have constantly supported the pay increases there. So I don't want this to come across to anybody any different than that. We've supported that since we've been in office.
What has the cost of
has.
living done since then?
Pardon me?
What's the cost of living done since then?
I would say it hasn't gone up 40%. I don't know. I'd have to
I'm not for sure either, but it
look
went
at
up a whole
statistics.
lot. But we was way underpaid back then.
And I'm not saying they weren't underpaid, but I'm just saying it hadn't gone up 40%. And we were fully staffed then.
But
So-
we're not now.
No, I agree.
can't
Neither's
get-
911, neither's a park. It's just a problem hiring people.
I
And
agree.
it's not as much about the dollar as it is the work ethic has gone to crap. She emailed
Got me
it.
now? Says access denied. Okay. while we're trying to figure out how I can get into this salary roundup thing, let's go back to, though, the comment about these inmates are going to come back. Because you and I have been in these budget meetings for years, and we know that it's gone down, and every county is dealing with this same thing. And we've said, and I agree, you've been in this long enough to see that. But the bad thing is that we've probably said that the last few years, and it's continually going down. Like, when is that? When do you really think that that's going to come back? Because, I mean, we're looking at the difference. It started in, what, 2020, COVID? COVID.
Yeah.
So,
And then
you
it
know,
went down since, yeah.
in FY 20, state prisoners, not county or anything, but state, was 1.9, a little over 1.9 million. And then COVID happened, and you can see, boom, it goes down to less than 1.3 million. Next year, it's 1.15. Next year, it remained the same at 1.15, went down to 1 million. And then, I don't know what I haven't looked. I didn't look to see where we ended up, but we were at 750 at March. So it would have been another, 150, probably 900, something like that. That's my concern. I mean, I'm obviously concerned about the safety. I don't want you to think that at all. My concern is also, though, when it comes to this budget, which is our jobs, or mandate, whatever you want to call it, that's the thing that scares me to death is when you take out that other 200, and we're just left with, at that point, 800,000 in revenue versus 1.9 a few years ago. I mean,
And that 1.9, we was housing probably close to 300 inmates at
Yeah.
that time. So we was about 100 inmates over.
mm-hmm.
And can you imagine staffing on that? That's nuts.
Yeah.
You know, guys, here's the deal. Jails brought in some money for several years, and correct, it has went down the last several years. But jails were never built to make money. It is a service to the community, just like our other departments. And we fund those departments.
Listen, I realize it's not a money-making thing. I do. That's not what I'm. That's not what I'm saying. But I think what we have to analyze at final of is, okay, this is all it's going to be. Let's just forget, let's just, quit trying to say that it's coming back and just decide it ain't coming back.
Okay,
All right?
that's fine.
And this is what it is going to be, and let's get comfortable with what are we comfortable with subsidizing annually to have this jail. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, I think it was a much smaller department, but we had this battle. It feels like I had a battle anyway, in the last term about building inspections. You remember that? And it was always this thought of, it's supposed to pay for itself. Well, it never pays for itself. And it never did, and it's never going to. It's not possible. I kept saying, just okay, let's forget that the intention was to do this. And yes, they're on the other end, where that department is here for the people to save them time and effort that if you had to go through the state process to get a building inspection, so eventually we had to just decide, it's never going to make money, it's never going to pay for itself, either one. What are we comfortable with subsidizing on an annual basis? And I think that's where we are, especially, I guess, losing that Graves County money in a heartbeat like that has made it clear that we got to figure this out. I mean, and say, okay, this is what we're going to have. You and I have talked many times about that, and I know I've always asked, but it's not my, and I know you're frustrated, it's not my job to know exactly how the jail operates, because that's not my job. I'm not trying to say it is.
I got you.
Sometimes you may feel that way, but that's not what I'm saying.
No,
What I'm tasked with, as well as all of us, I think, is what's this money gonna look like on an annual basis to this county budget? And we gotta get comfortable with, in my opinion, around this table, what's that gonna be? And how do we resolve this? Or maybe there's not a resolution, but how do we get comfortable with this? That's an open question. Anybody have a answer to that? Feel free. Okay.
Even without I know you said when you got to the third slot, you could try to get some of that back through medical, through the commissary funds. Can you do that now?
Yeah, I could do that now. I mean-
What is about annual revenue from commissary?
Well, of course, with population down now, we're
It's
probably.
probably gonna go down
Probably
some.
roughly $6,000-7,000 a month right now. You know, at one time it was $10,000-12,000. We've got a lot of money in it.
But the flip side of that is if the commissary goes down and then we count on it every single year.
Yeah, well, I think, and the way I figured it was, when we figured it, we figured it, when we done the retirement, I think we done a higher percentage than what it is, because Erica, it's actually about $6,000 cheaper than what I figured, because I figured a different percentage. But when we figured it, I think.
Retirement or insurance? 'Cause
Retirement.
usually, it feels like insurance is where, if it's open, she's going to assume it's going to be the max. You
Yeah.
know, they're going to come in.
No.
Need
We-
it for all the
No,
family.
I was figuring the FICA and the retirement on what this raise would do.
Yeah,
For
'cause
the FICA and
retirement went down for hazardous about 3%.
Yeah.
From yesterday to today.
Yeah, but it would roughly cost our commissary $3,000. I think, you know, when I figured it at $69,000, but it would actually be about $62,000. So if somebody can figure that up, but I think it's $3,000 something a month. No.
So it's hard to be able to look at this and match these up to see what we have. This is this list right here, right? Not this roundup, but this list is today. Who, or at least the last pay period maybe, who was on this, or do y'all know? Yeah.
That's effective today.
Today, okay. So these, if I see this name on here, they work here today, right? Unless they left yesterday,
Since the last fiscal court meeting.
or since the last fiscal court meeting.
Well, not the last.
The last.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Uh, 12 if we include the Morgan, who is a does two
He's
things.
deputized, but he's my head cook.
Is that on, so that would be on the cook line, not
Right.
Right.
that, okay. So if I'm looking at this right, we have 11 deputy jailers. Does that sound right to you? Currently? Or, I mean, did I say 11?
Should be more.
More than that, I think.
There is? Oh, wait a minute. I stopped at that. 11.
No, we was at 11 one time, and you talking about hurting. But no, there should be.
12,
should be more than
13,
that.
14, 15, sorry.
Got 21.
16,
Got
17, yeah, I got it.
Maybe like 18 or 19.
19.
Yeah.
19 that are just deputy jailers, not the cook and the office staff.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then we have I'm showing with open, y'all tell me if I'm wrong here, open and current replacements, which really only, there should just be one of those. So if we have 19, I'm showing that we budgeted for 20. So there would just be one open spot in this budget. Is that what you were thinking, or no?
The document I've got shows 3.
Well, the document, when you say the document you have, do you mean the document that you brought to us or prior year,
Well,
or
I
what?
think so, but also what I got from Erica, I believe.
Well, but what I'm saying is, I wonder if that was last year or something. That may have been last year's.
I mean, unless you guys cut some openings, that they should be in there.
Is the guy that just left still on here? That went to Kraken?
I don't know.
What's his name?
Delvin,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on there.
there may be some more on there. And I guess the reason I would like to just, I'm going to use the term the third opening, but really it's a line item salary there. You know, so
Yeah, I'm just
really,
not sure it's
really I
there.
can spend that money. I mean, you know, but I would rather, I think it would just be the easiest way to do it. Then, at the end of the year, we can look at things, or closer to the end of the year,
So,
on some other, I am certainly willing to work with however we have to work. Always have, always will. You know, but, I mean, at this time, I think it would just be easier to work from the salary line. And then we, like I said, we can work things out.
but I'm not sure it's actually in there, is my first thing that we need to look at, you know, and be certain of that. But, so, if I have you right now, okay, so I mean, this just happened, this person leaving, because he's on there,
Probably a couple of weeks ago.
which is when our last, it may have happened just
I
right
think
after
that
our
we
meeting.
did keep him on as part-time, so maybe he was willing to stay part-time.
Well-
How much we're gonna use him
This is
full-time, okay.
Yeah, this is under full-time.
Yeah, he's on there then.
So, I guess the question to you would be to have, the minimum you said is 3 per shift, at a minimum.
And that is with a control room operator also, so you're.
3
talking
plus
about-
1.
Yeah, you're talking about 4 people, yeah.
8-hour shifts.
Now,
Right.
control room operators, they work 12-hour shifts.
But
Everybody else is 8 hours, yeah.
all right, that's impossible to figure. All right. So, I don't know that we want to do this calculation, just like all that. Somebody else talk, please.
Well, I think we may be getting a little bit into the weeds of the jailer's business as far as but what we need, you know, we were talking about holding that position at least this fiscal year until we see to cover this budget because of the shortfall. Is that not what we're trying to do here right now, is try to?
No, this
Cover-
doesn't
no.
have any, the shortfall.
Oh, it hadn't done
is-
nothing-
No,
nothing
this
to
has
do-
nothing to do with the shortfall.
Okay, this is just something he's come to us with wanting to, okay. Be appropriate for me to call for a short recess.
Absolutely. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll call the meeting back to order. I guess on this issue, does any of you, Monty may have something else, but does any of you have any more comments? This basically is not an action item. This is Roger's decision. I've made my point clear, I think. I don't want to see it taken from an open position, but that's just my opinion. I have no control over what he does with his money. So anybody else is, so we can put this to rest?
The only thing I'd say to that is that you and Erica, and if one of us need to be involved or something, since we were in the budget discussions, need to 100% know what this budget put in there for positions. Because I think what we can't have is a discrepancy between what Roger thinks
Yeah.
we have as far as open positions.
Well, Monty, I think we might have just figured it out, because didn't somebody say it was only showing one open, but we've got two on that paper? One of them's gone, and one of them's part-time, went to part-time probably a year or so ago, and probably has worked 4 or 5 days, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because we don't have a ton. If we knew that up front, I think we would have put in more money to the part-time slot. I could be wrong, but there's only like $10,090 plus FICA, so 11,000 and some change.
My part-time and
Yeah.
overtime's always been short. I mean, especially when I went to the county's handbook. I mean, you know, we used to have 6 paid holidays. Now we've got 12 or 13, and really didn't ever add anything to the overtime. And, you know, just the holidays eats that up.
I would say, I want, and you know, we can't do anything about that. Erica is out today. I think there needs to be, you know, we need to sit down and look at this and make sure that what we budgeted already tracks with what you think it is before anything happens. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Because I'm not, you may be
It
hearing.
goes with the paper that I've got.
I know, but I'm not sure, and you don't have the paper with you.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I apologize.
So I just don't know, because he and I, as many times as we meet over this budget, we keep whatever document that we had when we came in and change it, and then probably don't throw away the other document. So I get what you're saying, but all that matters truly at this point, because it's July the 1st now, is what does this paper say? What does the budget that we statutorily passed say it is? It doesn't matter what paper I have or you have. That's what we need to resolve.
But I
So when
hope
she
it
gets
matches,
back-
because that's what, I mean, I hope it matches. Because that's what I'm assuming the budget is. I mean, that's what,
Yeah, but I just don't know.
that's what,
that-
I think
don't-
that's what was,
If I have a document that I receive after we passed it, then I think you can be comfortable. But if it was a document
it was the
before
document,
we passed it,
it was the document that was being presented to be passed.
on the day, I don't
The
remember
fir-
the last time we met. When did we meet with
the
Roger
first
the last
hearing.
time? It was after the first reading. Because we had issues getting together with you.
We met the day of the first reading about the Grace County stuff. Is that when you talking about, or are you talking about
no.
budget?
I'm talking about budget. When you came in
That was,
a couple of weeks ago.
that was about the Grace County stuff. We met after.
Well,
court.
I think we talked about the Graves County stuff because it obviously had to do with the budget, but I think we were meeting for the budget though, were we not? I mean, or both. I don't know what the purpose of it was. I don't put that on calendars, but I'm just saying, regardless, this needs to be addressed before you do anything.
I understand, and I'm good with that, yes.
And then,
And
'Cause it needs to be
it's like
figured
the
out.
judge said, I
don't you
mean,
think? You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
absolutely.
do what, Monty?
No, I'm just saying it's gotta be figured out first.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm good.
So,
And I'm going by what was sent to me, but I'm good with making sure it's correct. And, you know, what I wanted to do today is come to you and let you know what I wanted to do. And it's like the judge said, and I appreciate what he said. It's there, it's my money. But, and I don't know for sure, the county attorney might be able to answer, but I come wanting your blessing, I guess, because I've always got along with everybody. That's what I want to do. And I did meet with the judge yesterday and explain to him what I wanted, because I've never come to court and blindsided anyone on what I wanted to do or anything else. And I understand I've got, the people who are leaving are not the 5 years and over, but what are we telling them? Do we not appreciate them?
Well, no, that is not what we're telling them. Absolutely not. But we did that same thing to the sheriff's office this year, and because that is who we're losing. That's who we're losing. And so
What is the sheriff's department what is these deputies making though? I mean, we gotta look at that too.
And they're the lowest paid in the county. They're probably the 7th highest paid in the region.
I think it's
apples and oranges.
relative. It's relative to me.
Yeah.
Each department is relative. If we're going to compare departments, I think that needs to be done outside the county, in my opinion. Because do you not agree? I mean, I don't know these numbers, but would you not agree that, or at least I would assume that McCracken County deputy jailers are paid less than McCracken County deputies in the sheriff's office?
I don't know what their deputies make, but I'm sure they probably are a little
Yeah.
bit. But I do also know, though, that some of the jailers in McCracken County are making 24 plus an hour, too.
I don't doubt that, but
I think we've also
I
got
think-
court security we've got court security officers at 14, 15, 16 right now, I believe. Not off the
But
top
aren't
of my
they
head, but
part-time?
yeah, I think your part-timers may make 14 or 15, and then you've got full-timers that I know that aren't at 17.50,
you know,
15.98. So
And what
I'll,
we
I'll
mean,
say
it's-
it again. It's always been frustrating for me to be on the private sector side that everybody knows what everybody else makes, and you compare department to department when I just don't think. I get it. I know if I were in your position, I'd do the same thing.
I mean,
but
I'm not asking
on our
my
side,
people to make what the
it's
sheriff's department
difficult.
You can't compare any of our other departments to the sheriff's office. It has to go through academy
I
and the
agree.
training, and basically, a year before they can even start work? I mean, there's
and that's
a
what we
whole lot of difference in that and someone who
No,
can walk through the door and.
I
My
agree
only
with- I
point
agree
in bringing up
100%.
the sheriff's department was just that. What we did this year with that was to try to increase the entry level, or at least the first year or two, whatever it is, because just like you, that's who we're losing. We're losing that, and there's a reason why, and that's because we're having to compare ourselves to other outside sheriff's departments. Just like if you're going to be a jailer, you're going to, I think, I would compare myself to other jails.
We have
like
to
size.
anymore and like I said, I appreciate what was done this year. I appreciate what's done every year. But we also got to compare ourselves to McDonald's, to Walmart, to these other places also.
Well, that's
Because
where we
people
need
don't
to be
just say,
selling
"I
our
wanna go
retirement
work."
package, our vacation, our sick days. You can't, if all they're comparing.
No,
When I interview somebody, I sell our benefits package, or it's more than the hourly wage, because
Judge,
if
and
they're
I-
just looking
I-
for hourly wage, they're not gonna stay anyway. They'll be gone in 6 months.
I used to sell my package when we had tier one retirement. I could keep people. No turnover. Didn't have a turnover, tier one. But unfortunately, the retirement is not what it used to be. But also, though, unfortunately, young people, which I was at one time also, we all was, we didn't worry about the package. We worried about the money. But I used to, you're exactly right. When we had tier one and I interviewed someone, I told him, I probably told Eddie this, because Eddie started with me. I probably told him, if you're here to buy groceries and gas, you're probably hurting. But if you're here for the long term, it will pay off. Eddie was in tier one. Eddie stayed with it. Now, he didn't stay at the jail, unfortunately, but Eddie's been at the jail. Guys, I'm not asking for something crazy. I'm asking for something fair.
Okay. Does anybody else have any more comments? If not, we'll move on. You got anything else, Roger?
No, I think
Okay,
that's it, Judge.
thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Roger.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks,
And
Roger.
Yeah, Monty, I mean, if you won't be involved, we'll check on that when
Yeah.
Erica gets back.
Okay,
But
we'll check. Yeah.
thank,
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right.
Okay, next item, CFSB Depository Security Agreement. Need a motion to sign.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We need to reschedule the July 15th Fiscal Court meeting. Start over here with Jason, because his schedule, he has court and things such as that. Jason, can you throw out a couple times that would work for you?
24th or the 25th, wide open, all, either one of those days.
I will be out both of those 2 days, the meeting.
You got court the 22nd, a week down the next Tuesday.
Let's see, 22nd.
Jason's out then.
I think Jeff could cover the 22nd. I think I could have somebody cover for me.
Okay.
On the 22nd.
Normal time, okay?
Yeah.
22nd,
Yeah.
Do
Good with
that.
me.
okay. You need a motion on the 22nd, normal time of 9 a.m.?
Art, Monty,
You good,
still
Mo?
checking?
Yeah, so the 15th, just moved back a week.
Yes.
You good with that? So move.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Let's see. We need to amend the motion from July 3rd meeting to advertise for construction / installation of the Aurora plant.
So move.
There's a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
What are we doing? What are we?
We're amending that. We had on there, the motion was to advertise for engineering
Yeah.
on that, and we're amending it to advertise for the bid on the construction.
Oh, yeah.
Have a second on that?
Yeah.
Second.
Okay.
Yeah, he said.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I need a CDBG grant resolution, motion, fair housing, procurement code, residential, anti-displacement, relocation plan, and cost overruns.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I'd just like all of our Realtor family to know that you're the fair housing officer for the county, so if there's any issues, is that right?
When you went to the restroom, we nominated and voted you through.
No, I don't think that's what's in that. So, it's all you.
Gee, thanks. Appreciate that.
We didn't vote on it.
Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Agreement to approve and sign. This is with Marshall County Fiscal Court and Urban Fabric. They're the ones that would be doing the preliminary architectural work to submit for the grant for the senior citizen facility.
So move.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Agreement with Cornerstone Engine Solutions. They do our generator maintenance. Kurt reached out to some other companies as well and had some discussions with them, and the consensus was to stay with Cornerstone. We've had good luck with them. Need a motion to approve and sign.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Talking about work ethics, here we go again. Bids for the courthouse pressure washing and painting, we received none. We need to do anything on that. I may see if I can get some prices and try to go from there.
Yeah, if you've reached out and got nothing, then you're free to do, private reach out, private negotiation on that.
Okay, do I need any kind of motion on this?
Just, if you want to, just to cover the base, if the court can give you the approval to reach out and try to find the best bang for our buck.
So move.
And, is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? That, once again, is this side over here and this one are the worst because of the way the building's facing, I guess, but pressure washing the entire building and then painting anything that's white on there, that's all would get repainted. Andy's had some people come up and look at it, and I don't know if it's because of the elevation or what, but we'll get there sooner or later.
What I gathered was the pressure washing wasn't going to be the issue. It was they were all having to reach out for painters.
Yeah, because we put it all
Engage with
together,
them.
didn't we? We might be able to break that up and bid the pressure washing and then the painting, and then that way we could get bids probably on the pressure washing. It's the painting we'll probably have to reach out.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah, we can,
All right, I'll make a motion that we put out for bids the pressure washing of the courthouse on its own.
You think it'll be over the?
I don't,
Or we
it
don't have
won't
a
be
choice.
over the procurement amount. I think it'd
But we
be,
still have to advertise it, right?
No, if it's
No,
not,
not
if it's not over 40, it's not going to be over 40.
I'll try to, he can
Okay.
probably.
I'll rescind my motion then.
Yeah, okay.
We had interest from 5 companies, but when it came to the paint,
Painting.
that seemed
Okay.
to be the
Well,
hangup.
just reach back out to them.
Yeah, and
And if
get
you would, and get me some
pressure
prices
washing
on that,
only.
and then we'll check references and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay, so, all those in favor?
We didn't- or what-
I rescinded my motion.
Yes. So we had the original motion still on the table?
The original motion for him to reach out and.
Yeah, I think the original motion was to give Judge the authority to reach out and, get our best
Okay,
bang for our buck.
okay.
That's a motion and second already, wasn't it? Yeah, okay.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Board appointments. Need a motion to appoint Kurt Smith to the Gilbertsville Fire Board. Term to expire 6/30/26.
So move.
For second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. County clerk's claim for calculation of 2025 motor vehicles.
Move we approve.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Do you have anything on executive session? No executive session, just need a, whoops. Commissioner Barrett?
Yeah, I want to make a motion that we have the road department, all the cemeteries, a lot of them have green signs. I guess I need to do that in discussion though, don't I? Need to just make the motion and then,
Well, you can go ahead.
okay.
Explain it.
What I want to do is, a lot of the cemeteries, and they're just church parking lots, have a cemetery behind them, they'll have a green road sign. Well, as y'all realtors know, you preach green signs is county roads, blue signs is private. So what they're doing is, in some cemeteries, they're putting brown signs, which just denotes there's a cemetery there. And I want to make a motion that the ones that are not county roads, that are not in our county road book, will be changed from green to brown signs. I talked to Roy about it, and he's fine with it, said that makes good sense to him. I talked to the county attorney, he said he didn't see no problems with it. So I would like to make a motion that we have the road department change all non-county roads to cemeteries markers from green to brown.
So like if it's just, I'll second it.
Go ahead and
for
second it so we can, because I don't
discussion.
know.
Yeah.
I don't
I got
understand.
a
All right,
question,
I'll give you an example. My church,
question myself.
there's a green sign that says Mullinex Cemetery, and you just drive down the edge of our parking lot to get to the cemetery. It's not a county road, but it has a green sign.
Who put the sign up?
The county did years ago.
How-
So, and there's several cemeteries like that. Like, another example is, Van Zora. You know, the county at one time, Judge Miller had a deal. They went in there and they blacktopped it, but they don't maintain it. They don't call rights to it. It's not in the books that it's a county road, but it's got a green sign. So it causes a lot of confusion. And I just think we are to change them. As long as they're not in our county book as a county road and we don't maintain them, I think they need to be changed to the brown sign.
This is for you or Jason, either one. I'm familiar with the blue signs, obviously, because that's a private road.
Yeah.
What's the difference in the brown and the blue?
Brown is just demarks, and that's just a color they come up with, I think Tom Hyder and them did, of just marking cemeteries.
Cemetery.
A way of marking them.
I think Palmer here in town has got a brown sign.
Okay.
Yeah, they've started that some with
Okay.
some of them, and
Yeah.
that, that just had a private road
Sure.
going back to them, so they,
Sure.
just so when you're driving down the highway, you can find it, because they don't have a big sign that says cemetery, certain cemetery. So they use these brown signs to denote that there is a cemetery there, or that's the way to get into this cemetery. So that, I just
ones
thought that would.
The ones you're talking about don't have a CR number, right?
That's right, yes. Yeah, the one, that, if they're in our book as a county road, they gotta stay green. But if they're not in our county road book and they're not maintained, that, they're just, I'd like to make the motion that we change that to the brown signs.
Any idea on how many of those are?
No, I don't. I sure don't.
So, just so I'm clear here.
We're not taking any roads out of county
Yeah,
service.
no, I get that, but do we set any type of, is there any issue with us paying for that could be assumed that is our
We put the,
Changing the road sign?
just because we're putting up the road sign?
it's already there. We're just changing the color.
Well, no, I know it's there.
Yeah, we
but
put it
but I
up to
mean,
start
it's
with. It's our sign to start with.
No doubt, we put every single one of those up.
Well, there's a county sign. I mean, I don't know if there's a record of that. You can go back and even find that. So, some of them are so old and faded, you can't hardly read them anyway. But, they're all the standard county post, the standard county holder, and the standard county green sign.
We put the signs up on the blue signs up also on the private roads.
That's a safety issue, as far as
Yeah, it
like-
is. Even though it's a cemetery, there could be a first responder needed there for some reason at some time.
Yeah.
So the signage is always good. Okay. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Anybody have anything else? Need a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?